Thanksgiving is this week, and in my family, my Italian family, fried cauliflower and Thanksgiving, they're like synonymous. There has never been a Thanksgiving where fried cauliflower hasn't been on the table. Now, you don't have to wait for Thanksgiving to have fried cauliflower. You can have it any day of the week as a side dish, and it makes a great appetizer. People who know me know how health conscious I am, and I'm sure you're thinking right now, Claudia, fried food? Really? You eat fried food? Well, okay. But this fried cauliflower, you just lightly batter it and lightly saute it in a little bit of oil in a pan, and you can even air fry it. And I'm going to show you how to do it both ways. So now, when buying a cauliflower, be sure the little clusters of little florets are like a nice creamy white like this one. I mean, sometimes you can find cauliflowers that have like little black spots on there, or some other funky looking stuff on there. I mean, I don't think it's gonna kill you, but you wanna have like a nice creamy white cauliflower like this one. So when you're preparing your fried cauliflower, there's like 5 stages. You gotta clean it and trim it, gotta boil it, you gotta bread it, you gotta fry it, and then you eat it. I call it the fried 5. You want to wash your cauliflower really well. So now go ahead, your cauliflower's clean, and turn them upside down. And now you want to go ahead and remove this big stalk. And you can go ahead and remove all these little green stems. Just keep twisting and put your knife in there and remove the stalk. All the little florets are going to fall now on your cutting board, and that's just where you want them. So this is how my florets fell off the stalk, like naturally. But now I'm looking at these guys and it's like, okay, you want them to be in individual pieces. Think about like what size you would want them to like pop in your mouth. And so you could turn them over and go ahead and separate them like this. You don't want them into tiny pieces, but you want them, more manageable. And sometimes you just have to cut them straight down the middle, and that's fine. But we're gonna be boiling these, and so that's why you don't want them too tiny, because as they boil in the water, they're gonna still break apart. I've got me a nice sized pot and I filled it up with water. You want enough water in there so that when you place your cauliflower in, it'll let them float. Once all your cauliflower is in, put your temperature on high. So we're covering the pot, and our cauliflower now is going to come to a boil. And we want to listen, because we don't want our water to be like violently boiling, because it might tear our cauliflower up. But we want it to get to a boil, and when it gets there, then we'll lower the temperature to medium, because then we'll want it to simmer. So the cauliflower has come to a boil, and I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna lower this to like medium low, and now we're gonna want it to cook. We're gonna put the cover back on, but we're gonna wanna cook it until it's just tender, that when you stick a fork in the cauliflower, that it'll just barely go in, because we're going to be cooking them again, but this is just to get it just nice and tender. So these have been cooking for 5 minutes. They've been steaming in here. So let's check to see if they're ready to take out. Look, my fork goes in, and so they're ready to take out and to cool. A fork goes right in. It's perfect. You don't want them to get, too cooked and too mushy. Go ahead and place your cauliflower in some sort of a large pan. And you want this to steam dry, cool down. And now is a really good time, like after this cools down, you can always place these in the refrigerator, cover them up in a refrigerator and get ready to do the next step a little bit later on in the day. But you really want these to get nice and cool. So I took my cauliflower out of the refrigerator and it's cold, and now we're gonna get ready to bread it. But before I do that, I'm gonna look at my cauliflower. Some of these pieces are still kind of big. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and naturally separate some of them. And if I want to, here's another one that's kind of broken a little bit, and that's good because again, I want to be able to pop the cauliflower in my mouth after it's cooked. So I don't want the pieces too big, but then again, I don't want them too small. Okay, I love the sizes of the pieces, and now let's get breading them. These are the ingredients we'll need to bread 1 head of cauliflower. 3 eggs, possibly 2, but we'll have 3 just in case, and some Progresso breadcrumbs, Italian style, and some grated Parmesan cheese. We'll probably put 2 cups of the breadcrumbs to a 1/2 cup Parmesan cheese. Okay, so you want a little workstation set up. We've got our cold, boiled, ready to go cauliflower, scrambled eggs, our mix of breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, and an empty plate so we can put the finished product in this plate. So we'll begin. We'll go ahead and grab our first cauliflower, dip it around, let it drip the egg a little bit, plop it in the breadcrumbs. Now I use different forks just because I hate mixing the ingredients because then it's just gets kind of nasty. But anyway, so there we go. There's the first one. And we're just gonna keep doing this until we get them all breaded. Periodically, you may need to add more breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese and possibly another egg as you run low on breading materials. As promised, I'm going to show you how to fry these either in the air fryer or on the pan. So we'll do the air fryer first. I have a setting on mine, so I could just stick it on air fryer. But if you don't, I believe it's something about 370 or 380. So you gotta get your basket ready. And I always with some nonstick, I will spray both the top of my basket and the bottom of my basket so that it doesn't stick. So we're gonna place half of these in this air fryer basket. And when you lay them in the basket, you wanna make sure that they are single layer, that everybody's gotten some breathing room, because this way now they'll fry a lot nicer. And so let's see. There we go. I think I'm going to save the other half here now to put on the frying pan. So before I stick these in the air fryer though, I want to just drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, because if you don't. We've done that mistake before. They still come out okay, but the olive oil kind of gives them a little crunch to them, and that's what you want them to turn nice and brown. So we'll just put a little drizzle on them, like this. It's a lot less oil than if we pan fry them, but you still gotta put a little something on there. Okie doke. So now I'm gonna put these in the air fryer, and it'll probably take like 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my temperature on medium high and put some olive oil in my pan, and I'm gonna cover the bottom of the pan. Maybe like an 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch of oil down in there, and that's all. So I can tell my oil looks nice and hot. It's kind of making little waves in there. So I'm ready to go ahead and place my cauliflower in. I'll watch my temperature. I don't want them to burn, so I might toss between medium high and medium. Now, if you have a lot of cauliflower, you just might need to do this like in batches. But this is perfect amount here for my little pan. So we're just gonna cook and be patient and let them start to get brown. Well, if you have a pan like me or a stovetop like me, a lot of times the middle ones always get done the fastest. But anyway, so I'm just gonna keep a look on these and just keep turning them as they cook. Try to get them nice and golden brown all the way around. Notice I placed a paper towel on top of my plate because as I remove my cauliflower and put it on the paper towel, it can absorb all the grease. All my cauliflower is cooked. I want to show you a close-up of each. Here is the pan-fried, and here is the air-fried. Our fried cauliflower is ready. This is the pan-fried version, and this was the air-fried version. I know they're going to be equally amazing. And how we do it this Thanksgiving, I'm not really sure. But I just know that I'll be thinking of my grandparents, my aunts, and my precious mother for always influencing us with food in traditions and holidays, and how basically it comes down to the food. And we're going to really enjoy our Thanksgiving, and I hope you do too. And I hope that you give the fried cauliflower a try. Until then, bon appetit.